Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. Our special guest today is Khalil Tafakji, Director of the Cartography Department at the Jerusalem-based Arab Studies Society. He's also a former member of the Palestinian Peace Delegation and the author of a new book called 31 Degrees North, 35 Degrees East, which examines the geographical extent of Israeli colonies in the occupied West Bank. Khalil Tafakji, welcome to the programme. Can I start today by maybe asking you about the peace process in the Middle East, which dates back to the 1990s. Back in 1995, you met with the then Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat, where you said that, in your view, looking at maps that you'd studied, there would be no way that there would ever be a two-state solution, and he didn't believe you.
It's not only Yasser Arafat, and I in that time in 1991, when we give it to the Palestinian negotiation, when they went to go to Madrid, in that time, I give it this map to Faisal Husseini and Saeb Erekat when before they want, after they want to meet James Baker when he was foreign affairs of state in that time. So I give that if you go to the Madrid, it means that this map will be given to you. Because I started to work about this issue since 1983 until 1991, so I know what's the Israel thinking about the future of Palestine if we are negotiation as a Palestinian for peace process between the Palestinian and Israel. So after this, the Palestinian went to the Madrid and we went to Washington, and after Oslo, so Arafat signed a Cairo agreement. And after we met here in Paris in 1995, and that time he speak about peace process. I says there is no peace process, only they want to give you these cantons in the final status. In that time he looking for the map. I put it, and in that time nobody believed that the Israel want peace in that time. But all the time speaking peace process. But in that time they have their project, they have their plan. In the same times. We discussed about Jerusalem in that meeting with Arafat. And Arafat, he speak about Al-Quds al-Sharif in that time. I says, what? Quds al-Sharif under Ottoman period, it means 1 square kilometer. It means the old city. He says, Quds is Jerusalem. And today, Abu Mazen focus for East Jerusalem. I say, East Jerusalem is 6.5 square kilometer. Be careful about geopolitics of the maps. Because any words you want to speak it to the Israel side, it means there is a map. You lose Jerusalem if you speak about Al-Quds al-Sharif, if you want to speak about East Jerusalem, or Jerusalem which was occupied after 1967.
But was it because they just didn't want to believe you, or because they were badly informed, or because they were naive, or because they couldn't get the maps because you had trouble finding the maps yourselves?
No, in my opinion, I think that they want to go to the peace process. They need very naive. They have no idea about the Israel ideology. They don't know how they thinking the Israel. When the Israel occupied East Jerusalem, in that time I was 17. From 17 until now 50 years, so I am now 70 years. So I understand what the Israel thinking and how they looking, because I read all the papers, all the Israel documents which was published here or there, to speak about the final status of Jerusalem or the final status of the West Bank.
Well, in your book, you're quite critical of Palestinian leadership because you say that it made a lot of mistakes. It didn't go far enough in the negotiations with Israel when it came to creating a Palestinian state. There's quite a lot of criticism all the way through, saying that if they had maybe played their cards better, they would have come out with a much better solution.
In my opinion, I think that this is from my experience. This is what, when I write this book, I think that all the documents which was put it in the book, this is what's happened in the ground, in the field. I mean that when the Palestinian came from outside, they have no maps. I remember that Abdulrazak al-Majidi was, in that time, he has a small map which was published in 1965. I say, you want to negotiate with Israel for the old map, there is no scale, there is nothing. He said, this is what I have. So we give it in that time a big scale because when we start to build our institute inside the Orient House on the Arab Studies Society in that time, we collect all the information from American, from Turkey, from everywhere, because in that time we have a huge of maps, so we have the maps. So it's, there is a difference between the people who negotiate from inside and the people who outside. This is the problem for the Palestinian. The Palestinian who are living outside, they have no idea where is this village or that village, but the people who is living inside, they have everything or more data.
Do you think this is something that the Israelis have used
Yes.
to play against the Palestinians?
Yes, this is why, because I told you about Haidar Abu Shafi or Faisal Hussein or Saab Barakat, he is from inside. But Nabil Sha'ath, he is from outside. He don't know where is this village or that village. And they make a big mistakes in Cairo, the first agreement in 1995, when they said Jericho, Gaza first.
Now, you could argue back from the Israeli side that Israel did give back the Gaza Strip, pulled out the settlements from there back in 2005. It's been victim of rocket attacks from the Gaza Strip since then into into Israel from Gaza, and it has made an effort to try to get the peace process on the ground. But at the same time, the Palestinians remain very divided between the Palestinian National Authority in control in the West Bank and Hamas in control in the Gaza Strip, and that is why this peace process has never managed to move forward.
First of all, when Israel left Gaza in 2005, in my opinion, I think they put it all the Palestinians inside the jail, and they put it, and Mr. Sharon, that was put the key of Gaza in his pocket. In that time, they know that all the time Rabin said that we don't need Gaza. Everybody said we don't need Gaza. They need West Bank because they're speaking about water, speaking about the hinterland of Tel Aviv, because all the settlement is for security reason, speaking about Jordan Valley, about for security and for economy. But for Gaza, all of them, they don't need it, Gaza. This is why they advocated all the settlement inside Gaza, but they leave it inside the West Bank.
So you're quite critical also of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In your view, do you think that he really does want a two-state solution, or right from the start, Israel never had the intention to do that?
We can, if you will, since 1996 until now, Netanyahu, he don't need any Palestinian inside the West Bank. The Palestinian will be in Jordan. This is according to the Israel, not Netanyahu. All the leftist people or rights people inside Israel. Netanyahu all the time, he is close to Lieberman when speaking about transfer the people, speaking about transfer the land. All the settlement will be under Israel control, not only under Israel control, speaking about Jordan Valley, etc. So when Trump published his map, you can see this map. It's Mr. Netanyahu map. It's not different between his vision and Trump vision.
But you would think that the Palestinians' Arab neighbours would be more supportive of the situation in the West Bank and in Gaza. Why isn't that support coming in more readily?
I think that after Arab Spring, what we call it, Arab Spring, there is no Arab. Everybody they're speaking about Jordan first, Lebanon first, Syrian first, Iraq first. So the Arab world say that now we have a huge of a problem, and we are not trust about the Palestinian trust about a Palestinian state. We need to make want to make peace with Israel, as you know that Sudan yesterday before make agreement or not agreement, the meeting with Netanyahu in Uganda. And today I heard that Salman will be met Netanyahu in Egypt. I think that the Arab world now, it's in the bad situation. They have their problem. They have economy and psychology.
And very quickly, I want to just talk to you rapidly about the proposition by the United States of a peace agreement that was unveiled by Donald Trump at the end of January. The Palestinians have rejected this, immediately saying it is unworkable, but isn't any kind of peace agreement better than no peace agreement? wouldn't it be better just to take that and take the money they're proposing and have some kind of peace and to carry on in the same situation?
Where is the sovereignty here? If you want to speak about economy, it's okay, money. Money coming from Arab states, this is one. Secondly, where is our continuity with Arab country? Or if you want to go to Amman or to go to Jordan, anywhere, you need permit from Israel to go from place to place. This is one. Secondly, the Israel control not only the underground and on the ground and the space. So what is our state? There is no geographic continuity between the Palestinian, according to Trump map. The geographic continuity is it tunnels or roads. In my opinion, I think that this is why we registered this map, or because this map, according to the Israel, makes many maps in one map. Alon plan, which was published in 1970, Sharon plan, which was published in 1990, Military Order Number 50, which was published in 1983, and Lieberman, and they call it, this is Trump map, which will be taken or leave it. Taken, it means that we lose our life forever.
Well, we'll have to leave it there, unfortunately. Thank you very much indeed to Khalil Tafakji, the director of the cartography department at the Jerusalem-based Arab Studies Center and former member of the Palestinian peace delegation, the author of 31 Degrees North, 35 Degrees East, which is now available. Thank you for taking part in this edition of The Interview here on France 24. Stay with us. More news coming right up.
Some of the world's most influential people talk to France 24.
Government cannot do much promotion of human value.
Politicians.
E acho que sem política não há democracia.
Scientists, athletes and artists.
Nous, les femmes, si on se serre les coudes, on peut vraiment avoir une action très très positive sur le monde.
The American Film Festival in Deauville.
Get all the insight.
The government is still spying.
And the voices that matter on France 24.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.